Hi there! I am going to be making my chicken soup, which is a specialty of mine for Shabbat, and I'd like to show you how I make it. So first I start with the chicken. I always use thighs because they are juicier and they make much better soup. I've tried it with breasts and it is way too watery. So I use half or 3/4 of a big package of thighs, and I wrap them in the chicken bag that my lovely sister Michelle got for me. And that way it keeps all the chicken in the bag and doesn't fall into the bottom of the pot, and makes really good flavored chicken soup without a lot of the mess. And then what you do is you put the chicken into the pot and cover it with water. And you should actually tie the bag first. So you put in the chicken and cover it with water. And you're going to use a relatively high flame. I use around a 6 or a 7 until it gets going. And then you're going to cut up your vegetables to put into your soup. And I use carrots and celery and a beautiful purple onion. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my food scraper. This is a very, very large food scraper to get all of the vegetables into the pot. And get those in there. Oh. Okay. And then I'm going to add some kosher salt. So, yeah, I don't measure, just put some kosher salt in. And then I am going to mix it up so that the salt kind of goes around. And then I'm going to keep it on that high heat for about 2 hours. Once it starts overflowing, then you turn it down a bit, and then you simmer it at the very last. So I'll come back when it's simmering and show you. So it's been cooking for about 3 hours. I turned it down at an hour and a half. And it's now on 4. And one thing that I do is I remove all the chicken and the vegetables from the soup and separate it into another container. I do that so that the soup is clear and I can cook my matzo balls in my soup. So basically all I do is I take the vegetables out, and actually there's a better way to do it. I use a mesh strainer to get in there and get the vegetables and put them in the container, and you get everything out, and I keep them warm in that container and then serve them separately, so whoever wants vegetables in their soup can get the vegetables from the container. I also take the chicken out and I put it in the container as well. And then I cut open the chicken bag. With my kitchen scissors and take out the chicken. And you can leave the chicken the way it is, or you can shred it. I usually shred it, and then it goes back into the soup when we eat it. So out comes the chicken. Like that. And then I take my little double knife and shred the chicken. And that way, when it's ready to go into the soup, it's shredded and it's not in old big lumps. Okay, and then this is what the soup looks like. Look at that beautiful color and texture. And then what I do from here is I take my matzo ball mix and I make matzo balls and drop them in the soup. So you just have to make them about the size of a walnut. So kind of like that, and drop them in the soup. And they're ready in about 20 minutes. And here is the end result of the chicken soup. It is chicken soup with matzo balls. And I also made lakshan or noodles. And I also did the vegetables and the chicken. And I made challah. So it's time for Shabbat. Everybody will be joining me soon, and we will have a lovely dinner.